Have you ever found yourself standing in your kitchen, a loaf of bread cradled in your hands, and softly pondered, is this still safe for me to eat? For countless seniors, particularly those dealing with diabetes, bread has turned into a wellspring of uncertainty, even apprehension. What was once a simple source of solace now bears the burden of doubt. We've heard it repeatedly. Steer clear of carbs. Bread is harmful, and sweet varieties are even more so. As a result, we pull back from a beloved staple, convinced it's the sole path to wellness. Yet, what if that tale doesn't capture the complete picture? What if there exist sweet, recognizable, routine breads, indeed ones available at any typical American supermarket, that genuinely aid your blood sugar levels instead of sending them soaring? What if the perfect slice might serve as a pathway to restoration, rather than damage? In this video, we'll delve into 5 unexpectedly sweet and everyday breads that prove not only harmless for seniors living with diabetes, but remarkably helpful in fostering even blood sugar, improved gut health, and enduring vitality. Plus, we'll reveal those well-known breads to handle carefully, even when they appear benign on the store shelf. This goes beyond mere bread. It's about restoring delight, heritage, and faith in what you eat. Prepared to savor that initial bite? Let's get started. Before we jump in, if you haven't subscribed already, I suggest you tap that button and activate the bell to ensure you catch every health insight crafted especially for you. If this video resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, enter 0 so I can refine my content to better suit you. Sprouted grain bread. 1. Sprouted grain bread. Timeless insight, contemporary strength. Sprouted grain bread holds a subtle form of insight, one that resonates with the maturing body and the spirit that holds on to fond recollections. On initial look, this bread could appear hearty, novel, perhaps coarse next to the tender white slices so many of us knew in childhood. Yet, beneath its grounded texture lies something uncommon in our era: nourishment that honors you in return. Sprouted grain bread arises not from processed flour, but from intact grains permitted to sprout, or start growing prior to milling and baking. That single, modest adjustment, letting the grain awaken, triggers an extraordinary shift. It lowers the bread's glycemic index so it avoids the blood sugar surges that ordinary bread provokes. It further elevates the grain's nutritional profile, enhancing access to essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your body truly takes in and employs. For seniors handling diabetes, this transcends a mere eating perk. It's a move toward genuine recovery. As we grow older, our systems turn more responsive, more discerning. Digestion eases, blood sugar reactions evolve, and we no longer tolerate foods like before. Sprouted bread arrives, not as a concession, but as an ally. It's richer in fiber and protein, aiding blood sugar management and promoting longer-lasting fullness. That translates to reduced urges, diminished dips, and consistent vitality all day long. No abrupt weariness post-breakfast, no hazy thoughts come mid-morning, merely the reliable vigor your body has sought throughout. Even more reassuring is how this bread can grow familiar over time. Crisp it in the toaster and crown it with almond butter plus a dash of cinnamon. Stack it with avocado and a hint of sea salt, or relish it heated alongside a poached egg at breakfast. These aren't forfeits. They represent acts of tenderness. And gradually, they mend your bond with eating, swapping apprehension for assurance. Numerous older folks share with me how adopting sprouted grain bread restored what they hadn't realized was missing: the freedom to savor bread once more, free of remorse, to dine with both sustenance and sentiment, to turn breakfast into an anticipated ritual, not one to shun or resent. And right as you suppose bread holds no further astonishments, hold on until you discover how a simple bowl of oats evolves into one of the mildest, most accommodating breads for diabetes out there. It's not solely about health, it's about mending. Let's examine it nearer. If you're continuing to watch and these revelations prove useful, kindly leave a number 1 in the comments to show you're alongside me. Now, onward to item 2. 2. Oat bread. Oat bread. Soft, earthborn sweetness. Oat bread carries a serene sort of poise, a modest slice that seeks no fanfare, yet provides abundantly once you pause to appreciate it. For seniors steering through diabetes in daily life, oat bread delivers more than fuel. It's a touch of serenity amid bewildering dietary options. It's unassuming. It's no fad. But unquestionably, It's among the most soothing and bolstering foods to reintegrate into your routine. Oats remain a cornerstone in American homes. Cozy bowls on frosty dawns, oatmeal treats in school sacks, and containers of rolled oats nestled in cupboard nooks. Yet when oats transform into bread, particularly blended with whole grains and a whisper of innate sweetness such as molasses or unprocessed honey, they yield something exceptional. A loaf that calms the frame while softly steadying blood sugar. Distinct from loaves crafted with bleached white flour, oat bread brims with beta-glucan, a soluble fiber form that moderates digestion and aids glucose regulation. For elders whose insulin response has waned over years, this surpasses usefulness. It's vital. The gradual carbohydrate release into circulation avoids abrupt rises, sudden plunges. Rather, it grants reliable, lasting vigor that carries you through hours with focus and resilience. But oat bread offers beyond fiber alone. It's laden with inherent elements, magnesium, iron, B vitamins, that bolster cardiac wellness, cognitive sharpness, and metabolic flow. And since oats are inherently gluten-free, plenty of seniors with tender guts discover oat-centric breads kinder to their middles, yielding reduced swelling, lessened unease, and greater contentment post-meal. It's an eating approach that aligns intuitively, not only for your glucose, but for your holistic harmony. The heartfelt ease of oat bread rings true as well. Its yielding texture and understated allure evoke unhurried eras. Warm it in the toaster come morning and slather on a bit of almond butter with cinnamon. You receive not merely a wholesome bite, but a gentle gesture of self-kindness. Or pair a slice with afternoon soup. It comforts you, anchors you, and affirms that vitality stems not from denial. It arises from wiser picks among trusted staples. A host of seniors marvel at how swiftly oat bread integrates as a dependable daily element. It's a minor shift, certainly, but one that unlocks superior digestion, amplified stamina, and a fresh tie to cuisine grounded in faith and pleasure. And if oat bread's slice achieves that, imagine reclaiming a sugary youth staple. Indeed, cinnamon raisin bread. It could well be the coziest and most diabetes-compatible revelation here. Let's advance and uncover the reason. 3. Whole wheat cinnamon raisin. Whole wheat cinnamon raisin bread. Bread. Sweet, yet secure. Cinnamon raisin bread evokes a profound sense of reminiscence. It calls to mind for many those sharp fall dawns, the aroma of cinnamon wafting across the rooms, and those serene repasts with coffee and coziness. It's the sort of loaf that cradles recollections. And for elder individuals, above all those tending diabetes, it's frequently among the initial items they believe must be relinquished. Sugary loaf, raisins, spice. It seems lavish, hazardous, forbidden. But imagine if that known slice, prepared thoughtfully, might truly bolster your blood sugar over undermining it. The key rests in the components and in reframing cuisine not as lure, but as chance for equilibrium. Conventional cinnamon raisin loaves typically employ refined flour and surplus sugar. But crafted with whole wheat flour, this loaf shifts from a saccharine snare to a deliberate, fiber-packed option that harmonizes with your form. Intact grains supply the foundation, while cinnamon contributes something finer and more meaningful, an innate helper for glucose oversight. Research indicates cinnamon aids insulin responsiveness and moderates glucose uptake into the circulation. It's beyond taste, it's purpose. Next come the raisins. Certainly, they lend innate allure, but also fiber and protective agents. Moderation and combination hold the essence. Consumed temperately and with a protein or sound fat, such as a light almond butter smear or a cheddar sliver, that formerly dreaded allure turns into something secure and gratifying. It affirms that delight and restraint can coexist in one sitting. Yet, what may prove most potent in whole wheat cinnamon raisin bread is its emotional gift. For innumerable seniors, meals transcend mere elements. They're ties to yesteryears, kin, delight. When you sink teeth into a toasty slice and detect the known fusion of zest and berry, you're not solely feeding your frame. You're restoring gladness, sans sorrow. And that counts. It counts since diabetes needn't obliterate custom. It needn't demand farewell to all that's sugary. Rather, it beckons you to revive those solaces with fresh discernment. Opting for formulas with slimmer rosters, milder sugar, ampler whole elements, or picking a reliable market brand that prioritizes whole grains and curbs sugar low. Thus, you're not yielding, you're assuming command. And precisely when you feel reconciled with sugary loaves, emerges one nearer to the core. Tender, aureate, brimming with echoes of Sabbath dawns and hearth glow. Let's discuss banana bread and its return from exile. If you're persisting in viewing and deeming these observations worthwhile, please note a 1 below to signal your presence. Now, let's proceed to entry 4. 4. Banana nut bread reimagined. Banana nut bread for your vitality. Scarcely any fragrance envelops a dwelling like banana bread baking. It harks to Sabbath mornings, kin hearths, in less complicated days when a lure arose from a vessel of softened fruit and a maternal hand blending softly in a seasoned earthen dish. For abundant older souls, banana bread exceeds an indulgence. It's an echo. But amid diabetes, it's commonly the prime item urged for abandonment. Excess sugar, ample carbs, undue peril. And thus, like numerous pleasures, it gradually recedes from them. Oven. But suppose we shared that banana nut bread required no exile, merely reconstruction. In reality, through deliberate tweaks, this treasured U.S. icon can evolve into a profoundly sustaining thread in your habits, aiding your glucose over unsettling it. The crux lies in valuing both the savor and the roll. In place of pale flour, begin with almond or oat flour. Inherently fiber and protein abundant, which temper digestion and hold glucose firm. A single or pair of mellow bananas furnish ample innate charm sans barrels of supplemental sugar. And united with chopped walnuts, you infuse sound lipids, magnesium, omega-3s that ease swelling and heighten insulin acuity. It's not rendering banana bread dull, it's rendering it astute. A hint of cinnamon steadies glucose and amplifies that known cozy note. A speck of sea salt lends poise, and maybe the paramount component, purpose. When you craft or choose banana nut bread that reveres your wellness, each morsel gains deeper sense. Countless seniors deem this rendition of banana bread a discovery. Not alone is it gentler on the frame, but it revives what many presumed gone. The delight in creating, in offering, in claiming a seat at feast. Offered faintly heated with a dollop of plain Greek yogurt or a portion savored with tea. It extends beyond solace. It extends assurance. You're not evading. You're not flouting norms. You're selecting facets that advance your harmony while esteeming your legacy. That's the nourishment bond we merit, particularly in elder phases when solace weighs heavily, yet command does too. And right as you deem this path via superior loaves finished, one lingers for you. It's not sweetly conventional, but its zest is vivid, its merit startling, and it may claim the ancient loaf with the freshest vow. Let's address sourdough and its potential as the gut's truest companion. 5. Sourdough bread. Sourdough bread, the enduring companion bearing fresh virtues. Sourdough bread possesses an eternal quality. Its zesty scent, that soft snap as you rend a rugged round, how it mates ideally with steaming soup or a wedge of keen dairy. It's a loaf that has steadfastly endured eras. For numerous elder Americans, sourdough transcends mere fare. It's an echo, a balm, a steady tablemate across shifting decades. And presently, as we mature and chart novel wellness arcs, notably with diabetes, sourdough reclaims the glow. Not solely for savor, but for its unforeseen role. What distinguishes sourdough transcends flavor. It's the method. Unlike market loaves with swift yeast and milled flour, sourdough ferments customarily via untamed yeast and lactic bacteria. That extended, languid ferment achieves grace. It dismantles ample natural starches and gluten in the loaf, easing its glycemic burden and lightening your gut's labor. That yields slimmer glucose leaps, diminished puffing, and firmer vitality. A boon every senior tending sugars can. Value. But sourdough's merits delve further. Amid ferment, salubrious prebiotic fibers emerge, threads that sustain gut's benign microbes. A thriving gut exceeds mere flow. It ties to immunity, mental acuity, even mood steadiness. For elders grappling with torpid digestion or remedy after effects, sourdough can softly bolster your workings sans overload. The lactic essence from ferment further aids mineral uptake like magnesium, zinc, iron more aptly. Essentials many elders subtly want. And then the soulful balm. Slicing into sourdough holds charm. Its yielding innards, faint bite. It seems forthright, authentic. It bids you linger, relish. Warm it with olive oil and milled pepper. Employ it for turkey with avocado. Savor a heated portion with curd or tomato. These aren't excesses. They're modest feeds, customs lending form and purpose to your hours. Abundant seniors startle to find sourdough, wrought traditionally and portioned thoughtfully, ranks among the glucose-friendliest loaves on offer. It's not solely your intake, but your frame's reply. And with sourdough, the reply tends firm, upholding, mild. It's a cue that ancient paths, deliberate, enduring, reflective, often cradle profoundest lore. Thus, sourdough may resemble a plain round, but in apt measures and grasp, it can ally potently in your quest for sounder maturity. It's embracing the known more astutely, more compassionately. But as we laud these finer loaf selections, another facet demands note. For while certain breads foster poise and vigor, others may subtly oppose. The true query, which? And might they perch in your larder even now? Let's peer nearer. 6 bread types to be mindful of. Types to be mindful of amid aisles that extend boundlessly these days. Lines of vivid wraps, striking wellness vows, and the soothing guise of variety. It's simple to overlook that not every loaf crafts with your harmony foremost, notably as years advance, and chiefly for diabetes tenders. Peering beyond tags to grasp what enters home and form grows ever crucial. Certain loaves, though cherished and routine, toil unseen against balance quests. Consider white bread, say. Yielding, feather-light, tied to youthful subs, white bread usually stems from intensely milled flour. Devoid of fiber, elements, innate equilibrium that curbs sugar draw. Lacking those, it processes swiftly, sparking glucose surges that render weary, snappish, or vertiginous. Its balm fleetingly, yet it forgoes the firm vigor your frame craves to flourish in later spans. Then light bread awaits. Those tagged slim fat or slim calorie, which rings salubrious outwardly, but oft offset scant calories with amplified starches, binders, or laced sugars that dupe craving escalation. They may trim lipids, but spike glycemic toll, worsening your sugar's prior state. A portion seems innocuous, but prolonged toll drains soul and sinew. And skip not sweet bakery loaves or infused bagels common in deli or market ovens. Cinnamon crunch, berry coil, nectar sheen. These lean pastry over loaf, oft stuffed with sugar and milled carbs. A dawn nibble feels airy, yet may pack candy bar sugar, sans fiber, or protein to ease uptake. Even multigrain loaves deceive at times. Sans label touting whole grain or full whole wheat foremost, you might claim a brown-tinted round via molasses or hue with scant worth. It's loaf attired as hail, yet grants no true bolster to workings. And here's stark fact. Even glucose-claimed loaves can beguile. Promo phrases lack firm rule, and lengthy alien rosters oft signal excess craft, extras, slimmer boons. Simpler facets let your frame comprehend easier, easing firm vigor, flow, sugars. Mindfulness shuns fear. It embraces notice. It means scanning tags, posing queries, recalling each bite a pick, a chance to uphold or tax your workings. And glad tidings, knowing dodges empowers remnants grandeur, fare that reciprocates fondness. Now we've unveiled cautious lobes. One closing verity beckons, the thread binding all. For ultimately, this path transcends loaf. It's you, your rhythms, how minor shifts yield vaster, sunnier spans. Let's close the circle. A final word. A final word, loaf, poise, and the span you yet merit. As maturity unfolds, fare swells past fuel. It mirrors self-tenderness softly. And in well-aging's tale, loaf enacts a role deeper than most grasp. It's not mere carbs or counts. It's echo, custom, feed and customs, molding lives o'er decades. For abundant seniors, notably diabetes tenders, loaf oft casts as foe, a delight urged shunned, a balm pressed denied. But that recounting falls short. Verity holds not all loaf wounds, not all balm endangers. With apt lore, apt picks, a dash of wonder, loaf reclaims as fount of health, gladness, even mend. The 5 loaves we probed, sprouted grain, oat, whole wheat cinnamon raisin, banana nut, sourdough, claim no exotic veil or grasp. They're workable, reachable, known. Their distinction lies in crafting, body harmony, age shifts honored. These loaves digest deliberate, fiber plump, oft innate ferment, or softly sugared. And crucially, they esteem your frame's lore over clashing. Loaf mindfulness seeks no flawlessness. It seeks heating post-meal feel. Nourished, firm, keen-minded, or hazy, spent, wanting. Your frame voices. Heating swaps dread for might. You're not overage for shift, not tardy for mend. Each tended loaf slice rebels softly against age's fade myth. It needn't. Mindful age means polish, means returning to self, means feeding to balm frame and essence. So next loaf reach, for sub, dawn crisp, or soup's warm mate, halt, recall. Choice is yours. Therein power dwells, soft force avowing, I endure, my wellness endures, joy merits my board. Your path shuns curb, it seeks unveil, and prime boon, you've claimed first stride. These tenets aim to stir full, true living. Now, I'd cherish your voice. Pause, muse, share one gleaned truth and life pledge. Let's uphold mutual on this truth embrace trek. If video pleased, comment 1. If nay, 0 free. Your note weighs much. Recall not like, share, subscribe our YouTube for kin fare. Thanks for viewing, and to life by your gauge.